Welcome everyone. It's time for a massive game, well, massive two games today. We've got the derby, the return leg of the derby at home to Red Star. We're only 3 points off them now, so if we can get a win here, we'll go level on points. And then we've got a huge game in the Champions League against Legia Warsaw, all to play for. Let's have it. So I last saw you obviously after the Atleti game. We then went and played Javan Mattis and won 1-0 before sailing through in the cup 7-0. Naby Patsa, we managed to get the win against, and then we drew 1-1 against Manchester United. A great result, literally a sort of momentary lapse in defence allowed United to score in the 17th minute. I thought brilliant. You know, we've done so well to get to this stage. And then for it to get taken away from us like that. But no, we managed to pop up with an equaliser only 3 minutes later. As you can see, routine wins in the league. And then we played Porto and we lost 1-0. And we had 2 goals disallowed for offside. And one of them I was convinced was onside. Absolutely convinced from Juninho. So much so that, because I was determined to try and get something out of the game. And I'd gone up to very attacking at this stage. It was about 83 minutes. And we scored. And I automatically dropped the mentality. I was like, let's not take any more risks. And then I was shocked, obviously, that it got disallowed because it was a deep ball from Ragan, and I just couldn't see how he would have been offside, but offside he was. We then followed that up with a 1-1 win, a 1-1 draw against Stancom in the cup, and we went through on penalties. And basically, as you can see, Red Star also went out on penalties. So realistically, the only league team left who can sort of consistently challenge us, I would say, is Vojvodina. So hopefully we've got a good chance of winning the cup, like winning it back this year. So everyone, slight disclaimer before we get cracking with this game. I actually started recording this episode about a week ago, and then something came up. I couldn't finish, so I got ready to play the Red Star game and then had to leave. And then last week I really busy in work, and then I actually went to Munich for a long weekend for my best friend's stag do. So I only got back like 2 nights ago, and then with work and the Champions League, like the semi-finals, I've just not had time to record it. So we're picking it up today. So I think this is the team we're going to go for Red Star. So a relatively strong defence still needed because obviously they're a top team. So we've got Simon, Ragan, Suarez, Pisciabu and Filipovic. Voronkov is a bit tired, so Perez comes in with his national teammate Castorani. Micetic comes in for Jovic just to rest Jovic. Granados carries on at number 10. He is actually happy now, by the way, about his game time, so we don't need to worry about that anymore. Bettens on the left and Martinez, who is someone who is wanting more game time. So they're going to start. And then we've got Alexic, Mancini, Nazari, Kazimi, Jensen, Choquette, Voronkov still on the bench, Chevetanovic, Carioca and Jovic. Balatovic is injured. So yeah, one thing I've been really pleased with is that we have managed to trim the squad down. So we basically can just name a sort of first 22 quite happily and not have to worry too much about people being left out of the squads and being unhappy. So I did make a couple of little changes. Stulic has been a really good striker for the last couple of seasons. So we have actually dropped the defensive line a little bit to see if that just helps give us a bit more security at the back. And we've actually gone fairly wide. Usually we play quite narrow, but just to try and stretch them with Micetic and Bettens out on the wings. Gosh, I don't like that. Communication, boys. So obviously, defeat here today would be, obviously horrendous. It's losing to Red Star, but also would help them restore their 6-point advantage back at the top. A win obviously is preferable, but the main thing is really let's just not lose. That's poor defending, but good goalkeeping. And that's why I dropped the defensive line a little bit, because they do just get in behind so well. Well claimed by Dennis. So yeah, apologies obviously in the disruption to this video, because it mainly just meant that the video is going to be coming out about a week later than I wanted it to be, which is really annoying. It's not what I wanted at all. Oh, Elliot, come on. You got to do better. At least he wins it back well. Nice ball to Martinez. Here's Bettens again. Drives through. Tame effort though. Very, very tame effort. So yeah, the Legia game coming up next is obviously huge before we play Barcelona and Arsenal. But it's just unfortunate that we've got a big game like this beforehand, because I could have rested to make sure we literally had our strongest 11 available to us for the Legia game. But as it is, we've had to obviously rotate a little bit. Try and keep the rotation to a minimum. Well, a nice easy 0-0 first half. So we do have options on the bench. We've got Jovic, and we have got like Kazimi and Choquette and players like that. You also notice, by the way, that I think I've come down with a bit of a cold, probably off the plane, which is really fun. Alexic is just coming back from injury, so he can come in for Granados as well. In fact, I think I will make some changes now. Good idea to taking Ragan off, so I think we'll also bring on Nazari for Ragan, and then we just do that. And who else is not having a great game? I don't want to make too many changes. Yeah, Jovic has had a great start to the season playing as that winger. He's done really well. He's just sort of kicked on since last time. I don't want to change the defensive line. Martinez not having a great game, so it might be time to make those last two changes. Yeah, we've got 2 left. So I think we'll do that, and then we'll bring in Choquette as well. I do love the fact that we're able to play Choquette more, because it was pretty clear from when we signed him that he had the potential to be a really good player. We just couldn't play him as much as we wanted to because of the foreign player rules. But now that obviously it's just down to EU, we're able to get him in a lot more, and it is developing really nicely, and that's a great ball. For some reason, Carioca just lets it run over his head. For some, I don't really know why. That's great defensive recovery, and it's back out to Choquette. What can he do? What can he do? What can he do? He finds Perez. Castorani digs out to Jovic. Oh, that's going to be very, very tight. Incredibly tight. I think it's really tight. I had a feeling he might have been offside. I did have a feeling he might have been offside. Oh, yeah, comfortably so as well. It's going to be a draw. You know what? I'll take that as long as we didn't lose. So, I mean, I would say there's a fair bit of pressure on this game. Even though we're playing against the team that we should be beating, I would say it's imperative that we do make sure we get that done. So we're playing on the Wednesday, and a lot of teams played on the Tuesday, so we kind of know where we will be. If we win this, we know we're going to stay in that position until the next game week. It's not like we're going to then dip out, if teams play like a game in hand or whatever. So with that in mind, the only real changes we're making are we're pushing Perez up into the Volante, Voronkov in at DLP, Choquette in, Jovic in, and we're going to start Carioca up front, because Martinez, I know he's playing against a good team, but didn't really do much last time out, so gonna give him a shot. And we've also brought Nazari in at left back. So I mean, the media is sort of, even though we're away, the media is treating us like the favourites, like they're saying, you have to be careful against complacency and all this stuff. So hopefully that is a marker of where we are at as a team at this point in this sort of simulation in relation to Legia Warsaw. And Perez has just smashed the frame of the goal with a lovely long range effort, which unfortunately we couldn't get to the rebound in time. So currently we are 25th, so just a place outside the playoff places. But obviously if we can get that win, which we are, like as I said, expected to do so, huge, absolutely huge. Oh, and Perez, the first one was just a practice shot, and this time he finds the top corner. An absolutely lovely goal. Great work from Granados to keep it in. Admittedly, we lost it, but then Nazari wins it. Choquette lays it off. Perez touch, boom, lovely goal. We'll get Nazari just to ease off those tackles. We don't want any stupid reds derailing us. So that puts us up to 20th. Now, if any of you have watched any other YouTubers, I've talked about second yellow card a lot recently. Obviously, as well as Jake, I'm really enjoying watching both of their series. But you know what? Second yellow card was saying was obviously that's a penalty. Obviously, the first sort of database which we are using. When the game came out in this simulation, had the Champions League qualification rules messed up, so it was going off head-to-head, but teams were getting knocked out on a head-to-head despite having not played. That's a great penalty. Despite not having played a team that they were getting dumped down by, if that makes sense. So they have corrected it since then, I think, with the winter update, but unfortunately we are still potentially at risk of getting shafted by a sort of broken, glitchy rule. So, like, say for argument's sake, we could finish level on points with, I don't know, Napoli or, Real Madrid or whatever, and end up finishing below them on a head-to-head, even though we say for argument's sake didn't actually play them, which is a bit of a pain, really. I'd say it's a bit of a. Obviously, I don't think because anybody really knew how this groups league phase thing was maybe going to work, but just annoying that kind of, how would you describe it, the computer term, that sort of stipulation, like conjunction was sort of put in, and it can't be rectified with like the key database updates that come out with the winter updates and stuff. You'd have to start a brand new save essentially. But yeah, that will see us into 20th, which is nice. Oh, that's a lovely pass. Back to Filipovic. Oh, he hits the bar again. We've hit the bar. I need to stop talking so much anyway, because I feel like Warsaw have just had a few little chances just in the last sort of 10 minutes or so. Arsenal losing is fantastic for us. Let's just get to half time and then we can make some changes. Yeah, because we have got to play Arsenal, so if I know that they can be got at, then that's brilliant. Oh, and it's 3-0, and that's the game killed off. Perez with the second goal, justifying his inclusion in that Volante role, and Voronkov with the assist. Brilliant. Perfect, just in time. Like I said, kills the game, really, I would say. Porto drawing is also very good for us. There's some really good results going our way at the moment. Looking at the rest of the table. The only downside I think I saw was that, I can't remember, did I see that Salzburg were beating Celtic? Now, Austria are a nation we need to catch in the coefficients, so I could do with them losing as many games as possible, really. Oh my word, how is that? That was scrappy. Flipping heck, Choquette, just get rid of the ball. Great recovery from Nazari. We've dropped down a place because Braga are winning. Is that why we've dropped down? Because Braga are winning? Bishabu, it's the bar. That's the third time we've hit the bar. Yeah, is it Braga winning, which has shunted us down? Yeah, it's Braga winning, which has shunted us down a place. Well, that's okay. Lovely football. Jovic, no, that's not what you do, mate. Make some subs, I think. Oh, well done, Voronkov. Perez, Suarez, Voronkov. Back to Bishabu. Yes. Lovely little dink over. Here's Choquette. Plays it back. Carioca through the legs of the keeper. 4-0. Lovely. So we're going to bring on Alexic for Granados. We're going to take off Voronkov. Bring on Castorani. I think, do we want to do that? Yeah, and then actually what I will do is I'll bring on Mancini. And who else could do it coming off? Maybe we... maybe bring in Jensen just to keep Nazari safe, and then we keep that change back for maybe 80 minutes or something. So I've got Bettens who I could bring on, or I could take off Perez quite easily, or take off Filipovic. So we've got options, and I think we will do that now. No, I think I'm not gonna bring on Kazimi. I want to take off Filipovic because I need him for the next game because he's one of my under 21 players. Yes, Fenerbahce had drawn against Braga, which sees us, stay 20th. Leon, that's fine. We'll take that. So thankfully, Celtic, is that Shea Adams? Shea, Zach, Everton, Fred Adams. What a name. Equalised for Salzburg, which is against Salzburg, which is brilliant for us in terms of the coefficient points. Braga drawing, also very, very good. Leon, unfortunately, stealing that second goal, in the 70th minute. And Porto went and won as well. But what that means is going into the games against Barcelona and Arsenal. So where are Arsenal? Arsenal's right below us. Wow, okay. And Barcelona are up there. So we've got to try and get... It's Copenhagen who worry me. And Atleti, to be fair, any of these teams with 2 games to go could easily leapfrog us. Look at this, Man City down in 31st with 4 points from 6 games. Wow. Yeah, it's concerning really because just Arsenal and Barca, man, just scare me. Meanwhile, Vojvodina just had another defeat in the Europa League to Randers, who obviously Danish, I believe. Yeah, and we really need to be getting results against the Danes as well, who are currently above us in the coefficient as well, I believe. And then in terms of the Conference League, how are Red Star doing? They just lost to Neftchi Baku from Azerbaijan. You've got to be kidding me. Where are Red Star now then? Still 11th. I can't believe they lost that to a team who are all the way down there at home as well. I mean, hopefully that gives me optimism that Red Star, who are playing Radnički next, could lose. Who knows? And then they've got Zulte Waregem. So we'll actually know where they're going to finish in the Conference League before the winter break. Okay. So, I mean, a win, obviously, if they can go up into there, would be fantastic, but I don't know whether that will happen. In terms of the coefficient points, so we are just 1 behind. No, which one's us? Yeah. Is that 1 behind Austria? 1 point behind Austria, and then we've got Turkey and Denmark way out in front going into next season at the moment. Whew. A lot of catching up to do. But anyway, so sorry about the delay, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. I will bring it back for Arsenal away. Fingers crossed we get the job done. But take care, everyone. I'll see you very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.